You have to truly, when you're talking to, especially in a small startup environment, when you're hiring, you don't focus on what they can do, because we have a lot of smart people around here, or in general people are smart, and if you give them a direction, they're good at executing. But literally talk to them at a basic level, understand their motivations, because a startup at any given point has 90% of slogging through, 5% of failure, 5% of success. So you cannot, in all honesty, guarantee this bright, brilliant future, right? So at the end of the day, even if the venture fails, do you as an individual benefit from this? Is a great question to ask, right? If they sit back and say, yeah, I want this experience, I want to work on this technology, or I've done something and this is a completely new, different thing for me, so I want to come in and have this experience.
I think the thing that differentiates coming to work at a startup from coming to work at a larger company is that the startup is just this sort of bottomless pit of you could end up working on all sorts of different things. A lot of it will be somewhat monotonous. Oh, I've got to reinstall my operating system again. I can't have the IT guy come and do it, because there is no IT guy.
You are the IT.
But you'll do this wide range of things, and you will learn a whole bunch of different skills that all of a sudden will be valuable to you down the line. At a larger company, you'll probably get the benefit of focusing more on something that probably suits you better and is sort of tailored to your skill set. But as a result, you won't get necessarily as much flexibility, and you won't necessarily grow as much. It all depends. Now, some companies are large enough that over time, you can flip between different roles, as I've done. And that's one way of accomplishing the same kind of thing, is by you yourself sort of forcing yourself to go and do different things, as opposed to in the startup context where you're kind of out of necessity, you're jumping around and doing a bunch of different things. So, I mean, each is beneficial at given points in time. You don't necessarily have to do startups perennially and never anything else, or do big companies and never do a startup. And I would observe that one of the things that was great about us all, in that it was a sort of a very mature startup. Yeah. We were doing, because as I described earlier, it was quite a complex startup with lots of deliverables, with silicon deliverables, with hardware deliverables, with software deliverables. It required a certain amount of discipline that was over and above a typical 5-person software web startup. We also had people who'd been and done startups before, and we had people from larger companies, and we had fresh grads in. We had this, and I think that was one of the kind of the key things, is that we had this great mix where it was a bunch of people with different mixes of experiences, plus some fresh ideas, and it all kind of gelled pretty well together.
Azul's founding team should use this video as their
recruiting tool.
I know, right?
But I think the other thing that's true is
that's, you get the point, right? When a culture is great, people don't forget it easily. I mean, I still think Azul is a great company I have worked for. Sun Microsystems is actually, in a way, it's the same too. It fostered such a great individual, respecting the individual. I mean, Sun had 35,000 people, right? But I still felt like I got very good education out of it, very good recognition out of it. I went through a mentoring program at Sun that really opened my horizons a lot. They assigned me mentors from various business units, which essentially got me into the sales and business development sort of side of things. And it's, again, going back to how you decide to foster that culture, like make that individual feel part of the big entity. So I was pleasantly surprised. It was a very good experience for me.